Hi, my dear church boys. A few days back, on one of my last nights in Prague, I came back to my apartment, to my Airbnb, after having dinner and a few beers, and I decided to make a drunken live YouTube video about why everyone sucks at game and why it's so hard to learn game sometimes. And it was only a live video that I deleted afterwards, and I got a lot of private messages from guys who didn't see it, and they asked me, oh my god, where can I see it, where is it available, can I find out, because I'm really interested. So I promised them to record a sober episode on the same topic, why it's so hard to learn day game and why so many people suck at learning day game, why people still are bad and are improving so slowly. So this is what I'll talk about in today's episode. I have left Prague, where I was for 2 weeks day gaming. For those of you who don't know, I left my apartment in Riga. I left Riga behind and I went traveling. I spent 2 weeks in Prague, got a few lays there, one with a Russian chick from Moscow, and one on my last night there, I just went out to get a same day lay. On set number 4, I saw a very hot Chinese girl, and a few hours later it ended with a lovely same day lay. It was her first time in Europe, and after sex I just told, well, welcome to Europe, baby. And now, yesterday I arrived in Antwerp, because I have had a few students here and they say this city is tough for day games. So I just came to test it out. I'm staying at one friend's place and I really want to see the city. I want to test the day game here. And I believe I'll have a lot of time here to record more videos, because I have like a long list of videos and I want to make, and I have a long list of podcast topics I want to cover in podcasts. Because the thing I've been thinking about the most lately is what is the difference between guys that learn fast and guys for whom it's very hard to learn day game. I've been thinking about that a lot. I'm speaking to other day gamers about it. I will do several interviews with guys that are in game for a long time, and I will do interviews with guys that have learned game fast, or maybe someone who was bad and then something changed and they become good all of a sudden. So that's something I'm thinking about a lot lately. And today, as I told you, we will talk about why people kind of suck in day game, why it's so hard to learn. And honestly, we'll talk about 2 things. I have a list of things to talk about here in front of me. And I have 2 headings. One heading is show the world you've got balls. And the other one is stop being stupid. And it's really what it's all about. It's just 2 things. Show the world you got balls and stop being stupid. And we will go over them right now. So game is all about showing girls that you are worth sleeping with, you are worth seeing, you are worth going on a date with, you're a really cool guy. And you do that by showing you have got some real steel balls. Regular guys meet girls in work, on online dating applications like Tinder and others, or I don't know, through friends, social circle, maybe hobbies that they do. Maybe they go dancing because there are some amazing girls there. I know guys who go to ballroom dancing just to meet girls, and to me it seems ridiculous. That's what nice guys do, and they let's call them high value cool dudes. They just walk up to a girl that they like and they'll just say hi, and they will in many ways show they've got balls. Nice guys dress nice, they have nice hobbies, they have nice boring works, they look nice, and well, they're just nice guys from all different. If like I look at them from which perspective you want it, everything about them says they're nice guys. If you wanna get good at day game, you have got to learn to show girls and the world, and by the way yourself, that you've got some balls. So I will give you, let me count, 15 plus 7. I will give you 22 ways how you can show the world you've got balls, how you can change your attitude towards world, how you can become more of a bad boy. And what I want you to do is, I don't want you to go out and try 22 new things. That would be pretty impossible. But I want you to take from that list 3 things that you really think you should start with. Maybe there is one really simple thing that you can change. Maybe it's one scary thing that you can change, and something else, something maybe you want to try from the list. And there are several reasons to do that. One reason is obviously to show the girls what you want and what you're all about. But the other thing is actually, the more you do those things, the more you start viewing yourself differently. I've met daygamers who are daygaming all the time, and I recently coached a guy who, he is very successful in what he does. I kind of got an impression that he is, pretty rich, and he used to play provider game. And when I coached him in sets, I felt that he still had some provider game tendencies. When he was closing a girl, he used to say, "I'll take you for wine somewhere nice." And he always tried to add this thing, somewhere nice, to show that he can give girls something of value, financial value, take them to places they haven't been to, etc. And he was also dressing very nice. He had shoes that you could easily wear to an office. He had pretty polite shirts. And it's not necessarily a problem, but the worst part about it is it was his fear of showing the world what he really wants. Maybe not showing the world, showing himself what he really wants, really being honest and showing the world he has got some balls. So choose 3 things from this list, and let's slowly start going over this list. And there were many more things on this list. I just removed them because I wanted to keep it as short as possible, but even then it's 22 things. So, and I left the things that guys actually do that I've seen many guys make mistakes with. So number 1, and I know to a lot of you this will seem ridiculous, but there are guys who still open indirect. So number 1 way to show the world you've got balls: open direct. Go up to a girl and say, "Hi, I know this is very random, but you looked. I like the way you look. I had to say hi." Or, "You look very cute. I had to say hi." That's number 1, opening direct. Second one is, don't ask questions, stack instead of ask. Stacking is harder actually than asking questions, and the nice guy thing is to just ask questions. "Hey, where are you from? What do you do? Where were you going?" Like really boring questions. Instead of that, use stacks, and use stacks that spark emotion. If she was going somewhere and you want to stack about it, well, stack about, "Oh, I saw you were so happy. I thought maybe you are going to meet your friends to have some glass of wine, or you're going to, I don't know, whatever it is that you want to use." And to stack better, because the problem with stacks, why guys ask boring questions, is it's hard to come up with a good stack, and hard to do it on the spot. So a little hint I can give you is, come up with one stack you can use in every set. When I coach students, they usually have 1 or 2 stacks that they use. They don't use any other stacks. Some of my students use the same stack in every set they open to start a conversation. So, number 2, stack instead of ask. 3, once you are open and the girl says thank you and wants to leave, because you give a compliment, she says thank you and walks off. Well, stay in the set. Keep going, keep talking, don't eject. A lot of guys eject from the set because it is getting awkward. And when it gets awkward, guys just, what's the saying? The tail between the legs and running away like a dog? Yeah, just don't do that. Stay in the fucking set. I know it's awkward. It's even more awkward for the girl. You don't know what to say, but you are used to this. You are doing day game. Imagine how a girl feels. Someone walks up, gives her a compliment, and this doesn't happen to girls too often, and she is often amazed and she would like to talk to you, but she is so confused, she's so afraid, she doesn't know what to say, that she has to go. She just says, "Oh, thank you, and goes away. Well, they want to talk to you, so keep talking. Do not eject from the sets. This is a really big one. Number 4, this is a very big mistake guys make when I coach them and when they send me recordings for Skype coaching. Stop stacking as soon as you get a topic. Why do we stack? We stack to get a topic to talk about. And what guys do is they stack, they get a topic to talk about, but then they stack again. Oh, you look so relaxed. I thought you are coming from a gym. She says, no, I'm just in a good mood. Then I say, oh, you look so serious, like a lawyer. No, I work in a shop. Oh, you look so rock and roll. I guess in those headphones you had Justin Bieber. No, it's Britney Spears. And they keep stacking, they keep stacking, they keep stacking. Well, they could have spoken about her listening to Britney Spears, her being in a good mood, or whatever was the third thing I used. So as soon as you get the topic, stay on the topic. When you get a topic, you have to talk about the topic for several minutes. If you find out she's going to a gym, then talk about gym with her for a few minutes. Don't jump from topic to topic. It's a very big beginner mistake, and this is why you guys run out of things to say, like 3 minutes in a set. Like you say, oh, this was a long set, and a long set for you is 3 minutes. A long set is 10-minute set. That's a very long set. A set should be 7 to 9, or 6 to 10 minutes. 7 to 9 is perfect. And that's why you run out of things to say. You just jump from topic to topic and you don't go into the topic. I know it's awkward and it takes balls to because when you go into a topic, you have to improvise a topic. You have to have stories. You have to learn vibing. And it's hard. You have to have balls to do that. So do it. Stay on the fucking topic even when you are scared. Number 5, close strong. A lot of guys say, and this is in coaching. Like this is what I hear in coaching. I'm not like coming up with this on the spot. Oh, well, we might go for a glass of wine sometimes, maybe. And she says, I don't know. And they guess, well, maybe a cup of coffee or tea, or I don't know. What do you like? I will take you somewhere nice. And they do this in a nice guy voice, and they ask a girl how she feels about it. Would you like that? We could go for a glass of wine sometimes. Would you like that? What do you think about it? So close strong, just say, listen, you gotta go, I gotta go, but another time we'll go for a glass of wine or some coffee. What's your name? Pull out your phone, create new contact, write in her name. Boom. She says, yeah, I don't know. I have a boyfriend. I don't usually do this. You just say, listen, I'll just send you one message and you can choose whether to press accept or press block. It's up to you. What's your name? Boom. She gives you your name. You close strong. You go home. And number 6, and I know this is really, really like strange for most of you, but text. Actually send messages to girls. We have a very great day gamer in our group chat, Mr. T, who is giving out some really, really good advice lately. I wanted to introduce some fun way to recognize who are the really good guys in the chat. So, and since we have this church theme going, in church, I did my research. I read up in Wikipedia, and in church they have 3 levels of guys, whatever. They have deacons, they have bishops, and they have priests. So I started giving out status to guys that are giving really good advice, and Mr. T was the first guy who got deacon status. You can see it next to his name in chat. You can see on the right side it's written deacon. It means someone who's really good in giving out strong advice, not just something that he has read in a book and hasn't really tested. So when Mr. T started, I remember him because I coached him for a bit more, I think more than a year ago, I don't recall, whatever. And he was a really, really nice guy. He had troubles teasing because he's from USA, and he had really problems spiking and teasing and coming up with interesting topics. But what he did, when he got numbers, he didn't text them. I asked him, how's the texting going? Oh, I didn't text her. And that was his way of avoid rejection. And actually send out texts to the numbers you get. And if you didn't like the girl, but you still got the number, and you say, oh, she wasn't hot enough, I'm not going to text, she was boring. She is not hot enough compared to who? Compared to all the regulars you have and all the girls you're banging all the time? If that's the case, then it's sometimes okay to not text the girl. But when you say she wasn't hot enough, you have to ask, not hot enough compared to who? Like if you have abundance, you can say things like that. If not, then, well, Stop watching porn, stop fapping, and get a bit horny, because she is probably hot enough compared to the girls you're not fucking if you don't have a lot of regulars. So, number 6, text the girls. Now we're getting to dates. And guys are really not showing their balls on dates. They're being very nice. And how do I know that? When I coach a student and he goes on an Insta date, I go and listen on the date. We did this with Mr. K in Prague in July. He went on the second day, on the second session. His fourth set was this lovely British girl he went on an Insta date with, and a few hours later it ended as a same-day lay. You can hear, this is actually a very interesting story. He tells his story. There are a few videos on my YouTube channel with Mr. K. It's his testimonial about daygame coaching, and it's my video call with him, where he explains why he did the first daygame trip. And I think the video is something about how to use daygame to start being location independent or something like that. Watch those videos. His story is really interesting. And so when I listen to students on dates, I hear they are not spiking enough. They just are having a nice guy dates. So spike. Do say things like, "Oh, so you look good and you are smart. That's cute. I like it." So do little spikes. Slap her hand if she says something bad. Do something to spark emotion, to show your intent, to show that you are here as a man, she's a girl, and you actually have intentions with her. So that's number 7. Learn to spike. If I recall correctly, Tom Ferrero has a cheap book for a few bucks about how to tease, how to flirt with girls, something like that, and it should have some spikes in it, but those are mostly verbal spikes. But you can definitely do your research and come up with a lot of spikes, or just ask in our Telegram group chat where we have over 100 day gamers from all over the world. Ask there, hey, what do you use as spikes? Number 8, stop being a nice guy on dates. And this is a short way to say start fucking escalating. If you are for 2 hours talking about your work and about your city in a boring way, and about her city, and about all the boring stuff, like the things that there are some boring things you should talk about in the first 30 minutes just to build some comfort, like where she's from, where you're from, what do you do, what does she do, what are your hobbies, what are her hobbies. You can talk about that, but even that, do it in an interesting way. And when a girl asks me, what do you do? I say, I really love rolling on the floor with other sweaty men and trying to choke each other out. And it's a fun way to say I like grappling, I like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So don't talk about boring shit for 2 hours. Stop being a nice guy. Start physically escalating. Say, hey, listen, I don't get one thing. You are really good looking. It's fun to talk to you. I mean, you're pretty okay. What's the problem with you? What's your secret? Why are you single? What's wrong? And do things like that. Talk about crazy parties. Talk about if you've ever done any drugs. I'm not suggesting it, obviously, because otherwise internet would hate me. But if you've done anything like that, talk about it. Make her invest. Make her tell stories. Maybe she has been to Burning Man Festival and I don't know, maybe she took MDMA and did some crazy shit. Get to those topics. Talk about that. It's a great way to escalate verbally. Start touching her. Start with socially acceptable touches. Then start with really touches that say this is a man-to-woman date. This is a real date. I'm a man, you're a girl. And if you don't know how to do that, then I have a whole video series on YouTube, how to stop being a nice guy. So go and watch that. Stop being a nice guy on dates. That's number 8. Number 9, always go for the kiss until you can pull home consistently, because I do not go for the kiss on a date. I mostly go for the kiss at my place, because what I do is I build sexual tension up so high that when we go for the kiss at my place, usually in 2 minutes we are having sex already. That's it. It's very, very fast. That while you are learning, while you are not pulling home consistently, while you aren't getting laid consistently, always go for a kiss on a date. Show your intention. But the biggest thing about going for the kiss is it's very, very scary when you're learning day game. Like right now, a lot of good day gamers, they don't care about it. They just go for the kiss. For me, it was very scary to always go for the kiss. Like going for the kiss was the big scary thing. And I don't know, I just did it. Even if the date was shit, and I know I wouldn't get laid, there was no way I'm gonna see her again, I still tried to go for the kiss. Just to practice it, just to show her, well, I got balls, baby, I wanna bang you. What are you gonna do about that? So always go for the kiss. And number 10 way to show girls you've got balls, try to pull her home. If the date is going well, definitely always try to pull home. Don't come up with stupid excuses why you shouldn't do it. Obviously, have your place ready. Have condoms there. Make sure it's not too much of a mess. Make sure you got some drinks there. Make sure you've got reasons to pull. Maybe you have a really good movie on your laptop. Maybe you have a really good view from balcony. I don't know, whatever it is that you use to pull home. So try to pull home. Don't be the nice guy, the one who didn't try to sleep with her. Girls like guys who have balls, and they love that you try to pull. They really love it. I mean, that's what they miss. They hate. They are usually bored by the nice guys. So if you show you get balls, that's really a big advantage. Once you have girl at your place, once you are kissing, once you're making out, this was a thing I was very, very scared to do for the first time. I heard about it and I thought, oh my God, like this is impossible. Like, how can you do that? It's such a crazy move. So way number 11 to show girl you got balls. When you're making out with her, you're still fully clothed, but you're hard. Take her hand, put it on your dick over the jeans. Make her feel that. She will love it. She will most likely leave the hand there. And even if she takes it away, well, know that, okay, you have to work on fractionation. Watch a video about principles of escalation that I have on my YouTube channel. A lot of guys have sent me like thank you messages about that video. That was something that really explained escalation to them. And it's not about exact steps to take, it's about principles that you can use in any situation when you want to escalate verbally or physically. So 11, put her hand on your dick. And now we're getting to sex. And well, show her you got some balls by doing something more interesting. Spank her. Try spanking her. Try talking dirty. When I arrived in Prague, and on one of the first days, maybe like 4th, 5th day, something like that, I met this Russian girl, and she actually opened me. She was lost, and she asked, "Hey, I'm sorry, do you speak Russian? I cannot find my hostel. Can you help me with that?" She didn't have data. I checked her out. I thought, well, she's cute. I could totally bang her. So I started teasing, and we started having conversation. And we went to her hostel, found it, left her luggage there, and went for some drinks. So didn't sleep with her on that night, but slept with her on the next night. We went to her hostel, took her luggage, and we went with her luggage to my place, knowing that she is staying over there. And while I was banging her on the day she left Prague, because she stayed at my place for 2 nights, 1.5 nights, I'm banging her and she says, "Oh my God, I don't normally do this. Oh, I'm not like this, but oh, this is so bad. I like it." What was the? Oh, and she says, "I feel bad," and I'm fucking her, and I tell her, "You feel bad because you like it so much, right?" And she went crazy when I said that. She went fucking crazy. So try talking dirty. That is number 13. To try talking dirty to girls. Very often they love it. They go mad for it. It's scary, but it shows you get balls. And let's be honest, you probably want to talk dirty. You just are shy to do that. So go to talk dirty. And number 14. Guys have asked me, "Hey, but like, what do you do to come on her face? Like, how do you say that to her?" Well, you don't say it, you just pull out and you come on her face. So fucking do that. What's the problem? Go and try do it. See how she reacts. Girls like crazy shit. And number 15 way to show her you've got some balls, try to set up some threesomes. You banged a few chicks, you have a few regulars, try to get them together. I've spoken in other podcasts about how to set up threesomes or podcasts or videos. I don't recall. Look, it's on my YouTube channel or probably a podcast. So those are first 15 ways how you can show the world and girl you've got balls. And in general, you can do all the fucked up shit that people are scared to do in game and in bed and whatever. Let's talk about not just things you can do with girls, but in life in general. For example, style, the way you look, or not the way you look, the way you portray yourself to the world, the way you are carrying yourself, it says a lot about you. So think about that, and let me talk about the thing that's important to me. Oh, and before we talk about style, let me make one thing clear. You don't have to go all mental like me. You don't have to shave off your head, grow a beard, get tattoos, and like wear a leather jacket and ripped jeans. It's not necessary. You don't have to go that far. I'm just like that. I like that shit. That's my choice. But let's talk about hair. If you are losing your hair, and I have several students that are losing their hair and they're just not shaving it off. Well, shave off your fucking hair if you're starting to lose it. Why guys aren't doing it? Because it is a very big, bold move to show that you are able to walk with a shaved head. It's something very aggressive. It takes balls. When I had several regulars when I was before I shaved off my hair, and I told them that I'm shaving it off. 3 of the regulars told me they wouldn't sleep with me anymore. Well, I didn't care. That was their problem. If they didn't want to sleep with me because of that, well, I find new regulars. I didn't really care. All 3 who told that kept sleeping with me. They had no problems with that. They liked it. So if you're losing hair, I know it's scary, just fucking shave it off. It looks really, really, really bad if you're losing it and you're starting to have some bald patches either on the top or on the front, on the sides, yeah? Just shave it off, grow some balls, don't be a pussy. Show the world you can do it. And it's one of the scariest things I've done in my style, but it's one of the best ones. And I recently spoke to another student and he said, yeah, he had the same thing, he was losing hair, and when he shaved it off, he had the same feeling that I did. Oh my God, I wish I did it a few years earlier and didn't waste so much time. Okay, that's about hair. Let's talk about clothing. Rule is really simple. If you can wear it to an office or golfing, don't wear it. I mean, what the fuck? And you can get a professional to look at your style. You can use my stylist. I'll simply tell her to make you 20% more brutal, 20% more rock and roll, because maybe she'll try to make you into a nice guy, but I'll make sure, just make sure you message me. I'll set you up, and I will make sure to tell her to make you a bit more brutal, to take into consideration that you want to be a bit more of a bad guy. So if you like a certain style, or the thing about style is you might not even know what you want or don't want to. And because it's so scary, you're used to looking like a nice guy. So stop looking like a nice guy. And for me, it's actually very hard. That's why I personally go shopping with my stylist for one reason. She often brings me things in store that I would never look at. I would never buy them. And I look at them like, this is the dumbest shit I've seen. I put it on. It's still pretty dumb. Then I say, okay, I'll buy this and I'll try this, and I end up loving it. When she came to Prague, when I was there, and she brought me this really gay shirt. When I put it on, I thought, oh, this is fucking gay. I love it. And now I really love the shirt. It's pretty amazing. But when I shop with a stylist, she brings me shit I would not buy, and I end up loving it, and it always looks amazing. There small things that I wouldn't buy change my style completely, and it changes me as a person as well. So if you can wear it to an office or golfing, don't wear it. Get a professional to look at your style. You can use my stylist. Several of my students have used her. You don't have to go shopping with her because, well, then you have to travel or she has to travel. You can simply get a lookbook. And no, it isn't expensive. It's nowhere near as expensive as you will spend on clothing, and it's seriously reasonably priced. And so yeah, get a professional, either my stylist, someone else. I don't really care. I'm not making any money, or I don't know, maybe I'll get a small commission from her. But then apart from that, I'm not making money from suggesting this to you. Okay, next way you can show the world you got some balls. Well, and don't do this because I told you. Do this if this is something you've dreamed about and you want it for a long time. Go get a fucking tattoo. If you want a tattoo, if you wanted a tattoo, and if you think tattoos are really cool, there are people who like them, there are people who don't. If you've thought about a long time, wow, like this tattoo looks good, this looks nice, but I couldn't get it, it's too scary, like, or if you're saying things like, oh no, I cannot get a tattoo because what if I end up not liking it after a few years? Well, this means you cannot take responsibility about choices in your life. It's a very big thing. That's a very bad thing not to do, not to make tattoos. So if you wanted a tattoo for a long time, go get a fucking tattoo. Okay, the next thing, do something cool with your life. Like, stop playing golf. Golf is a nice sport. I used to play golf for like 4 times a week. I played it a lot. But I realized, well, it's not really the coolest sport in life, and it wasn't something that made me really happy. It's a nice guy sport where you have to wear polo shirts, and it's pretty boring. So come up with some pretty, start doing things you really want to do. Like start doing something more interesting, something like not just because it's cool, but because you are interested in it and you want to do it. For example, and the next two things are just some examples. For example, are you watching UFC, Ultimate Fighting Championship? Are you watching it but not training any martial arts? Then, well, if you are so interested in martial arts, because so many people are watching UFC, if you're watching it and not training, then what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you interested? If you are interested in it, go do some martial arts. I don't know, go do boxing, go do kickboxing, go do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, go do Muay Thai. I don't care, as long as you don't do like boring karate shit that's like old school and no one does it anymore. But as long as it's something effective and you are a big fan of UFC or martial arts in general, go fucking do them. Stop watching videos. Start taking action. Maybe you are watching. So the next one is maybe you're watching snowboarding videos, or maybe you're watching kiteboarding videos or surfing videos and not riding. Well, what the fuck? Go snowboard, go learn to surf, go learn kiteboarding, whatever it is that you're watching online. And the list with item number 22 on the list is stop consuming fun content. Go out and do it. Go out and do the fun things you are watching online, you are enjoying, you are interested in. Just stop watching it. And so we had 22 things, from the things you can do with girls to losing hair, wearing stuff you cannot wear to office or golfing, getting a tattoo, doing something fun with your life, doing martial arts, snowboarding, kiting, blah blah blah, or stop consuming fun content, going out and doing it. From these 22 things, choose 3 things you can start with. If you need to go back, listen to that again. Choose 3 things you will start with and write down what will be the first step you can take in the next 24 hours, like a small one step that you can do. Maybe you will go and open direct. Maybe you will do something else, but choose 3 things you'll do and what will be the first step you will do in the next 24 hours. And now let's get to the second half of this podcast, which is titled quite aggressively and rudely, I'd say, just stop being stupid. And even though it sounds aggressive, it's very important, because I keep hearing the same mistakes and I keep seeing that guys do the same things over and over again and then are surprised they aren't getting the results they wanted. And I also see this in guys I coach sometimes. There are 2 types of daygame students. Because during the coaching, everyone is getting pretty good results. They're either getting numbers, some are getting dates, some are getting laid. It's different for everyone. But the big question is what happens after the coaching. And there are 2 types of students. There are students that keep going out and being obsessed with daygame. They go out, they approach, they keep learning, they keep getting dates, they keep getting laid. And there are guys who get back to the reality of their lives and they keep having the bad habits. They don't have time to go out enough. And because of not going out enough, they lose a big part of what they've learned. So I want to talk about something that I haven't spoken too much until now. Well, some guys don't really need technical advice on game. They understand the opening, they understand the stacking, they understand how to tell stories, how to make girl invest, how to ground, how to number close strong. They understand that, but they are making some other mistakes. It's not the technical mistakes, and some guys need help to form the right habits to get good in day game, and not just in day game, but also in life. And they keep taking maybe some generic advice that has worked for others. They ask others, and others might tell them what to do, but it doesn't work for them. And they read books, and it doesn't really work for them. The reality is, one size doesn't fit all. The same method, there is no one method that works for everyone. There is a day game model that works, but if you don't go out enough and don't have the right habits, then it doesn't really matter how good your day game model is. You're just maybe implementing it wrong and not paying enough attention to nuances, not recording your sets, not doing enough sets, etc., etc. Each of us is different, and that's why this thing is so hard to fix. Every person might need a slightly bit different approach. And this is what I do when I work with the business owners, because as many of you know, I'm a business coach for 4 small business owners, and I work both with business owners and their teams on team motivation. A lot of the business owners, they know what to do to make money, or let's say it like that. You probably know how to make money. You probably know how to get a six-pack. You probably understand the theory of how to get really good in game. But there are a lot of things going on in your life why you don't do it. Maybe you don't pay enough time. Maybe you don't spend enough time on getting the six-pack, on building the business. Or maybe you have bad spending habits. Maybe you have bad other habits. And that's why you aren't getting ahead. And this is the same thing that happens with business owners. They have too much going on their lives. It's business, family, fitness, hobbies, etc. And what we do with them, I work with the business owners to help them find ways to get ahead in what's really important for them. So in their case, it's business, and in your case, well, it's how to get ahead in game. And we work on finding ways that will work for them and most likely will not work for other people. There are some small nuances they have to understand about their lifestyle, about their thinking, some small aha moments they have to have and things they have to change. For example, I know guys who have some things going on in their life that really affect how often they can game. They cannot move to different cities. They cannot devote so much time for day game. Everyone has different reasons not to do it. So with business owners, my work is to help them figure out how to fix that, given that, there are some things you got going on in your life. We cannot take them away, how to work around them. So that's what we do with them. And it's very similar in game. But unfortunately, I cannot tell you what exactly you have to do that. I would have to know you a bit more. I have to talk to you a lot more. But there are a few things that everyone has to do. And many guys who are struggling to move ahead in game are making exactly mistakes with these few things. So let's talk about 5 things you really have to do in every set. 3 of them are worth talking about, and 2 I'll just mention because I think you know that, and I think you are already doing that, and if not, then 4 are worth talking about, and 1 is I hope you are already doing that, and we don't have to talk about that. And recently I spoke with a few guys I coached before, and we just to keep their identity secret, I will give them lovely biblical names to go with the church theme. Let's call the first day Gabriel. Gabriel was on a solo day game trip in another country with some very, very beautiful girls with very beautiful tits and nice asses, like tiny ones, not the big ones. Whatever you like, he liked that. And he was in that city, and he wasn't getting that laid where he was originally living. And when he went there, he kind of got a breakdown. He sent me a message, listen dude, this all sucks, like I keep doing this, like I get numbers but they all flake, I'm not going forward and I'm not progressing, I don't know what the fuck to do, I'm having a mental breakdown. That was one case. And another guy, let's call him Benedictus. He has done 1,000 daygame sets. He has had a few lays from daygame, but just a few, so his open to lay ratio isn't that good yet. And he asked me, why am I progressing so slow? Why am I getting better in game so slow? Why does it take me so much work and time? And I asked both of them the same question. I asked, hey, are you recording your sets? And both of them aren't recording their sets. And I just said, how exactly do you want to improve if you don't know what you're doing wrong? So you have to recording sets is one of the most important things you can do to improve in your game, so that you can analyze what you are actually doing. And there is a big thing I want to talk about when it comes to recording sets. Most guys, they record like 5 sets, 10 sets, however many they did in a session, 5, 10, 20, whatever. They go home and they listen to those sets. If they listen, sometimes they say, I didn't have time, I didn't listen to that. Well, that's quite dumb, isn't it? And that's a mistake. Recording a lot of sets and listening to them home is a mistake. You should do it a little bit different. What I do is I go out, I record a set, I immediately listen back to the set, and I think, okay, like in this set I made a mistake, I had a bad voice. In the next set I will work on the voice and I will record the next set. I'll listen back to the second set of, here I got to the topic of, like eating potatoes, whatever, she was eating potatoes. And, I didn't have a story to tell about eating potatoes. What story could I have told? I go and do the third set. I record the third set. I analyze it instantly in field. So do not record 10 sets and listen to them back home. Listen to them immediately after the set so you can improve fast. When you listen to 10 sets at home, yes, you will understand some things to work on, but you will forget them, and it still will take a few sets to get in the right vibe when you're in field. So it's much better to record sets one at a time, listen back to it immediately. And recording sets is quite easy. Yes, you can get a recorder. Make sure you can simply plug in your headphones and listen to the sets immediately. Or I have an old iPod Touch that I have in my pocket that I use to listen to music to. And I use the same app you have on voice memos on your iPhone, voice memos app. And you have to test this on iPhone. I cannot say whether it works. I haven't tried. I don't have an iPhone. But the way it works, you open voice memos app, you put in your headphones, and the button you use to pick up calls and drop the calls on your headphones, the same button is used if your voice memos is out open on the front. On the screen, it's you. When you press the button, it will either start or stop the recording. So after each set, I just press the button, you can pull out your phone, and it's not recording. Or just pull out your phone, stop recording, close the app, and then take the number. She doesn't have to see the screen. It's completely okay. So either try that on your iPhone or use a dictaphone that you can have in your pocket. Whatever you have right now, do it with it, so that there isn't an additional barrier you have to overcome to start recording sets. So that's number one. Record your fucking sets. The second one, there are some guys that are really taking action and trying to learn, but they aren't getting ahead. They are even recording some of the sets, but I know they aren't listening to them. They sent them to me, we did some Skype coaching, but I know they didn't listen to themselves, only to get there with me. So that's a big thing. If you record, listen to them. But I know those guys who are taking action, they are hanging out with other really shitty daygamers. They are hanging out with daygamers who use some shitty, strange daygame material, like really strange approaches. They have shit style and they aren't taking enough action. And like when you look at those daygamers, you know that, these guys probably will not really get much better, probably ever, or it will take them a long, long time. Because they just aren't getting not just daygame, but I don't know, life. But don't worry, it's no one from the group chat. We don't have those guys on the group chat. So are you hanging out with the right daygamers? Go hang out with at least daygamers that are your level, maybe a bit better, maybe a bit worse, but they have the right attitude. They are taking action, they are recording sets, they are using the right material, and maybe they have something else to add to your life and you have something else to add to their life. Make sure you're obviously a good day gamer, good wing as well. If you are not sure, I have a podcast episode, I think it's called 10 Commandments of Daygame Wings. Go listen to it. It's about how to be a good wing and how to choose which people to wing with. And most importantly, on that podcast, I explain you how to connect with really good day gamers, even if you are just starting out. Okay, the third thing. So maybe your texting isn't working. Well, learn texting. I've seen guys who say, oh, my texting doesn't work. And when I look at their texts, I see that they keep using the same pings after which girl doesn't respond anymore. Well, if you try a ping for a few times and the girl doesn't respond after that ping, well, maybe that ping is stupid and stop using it. Look at what you're doing and analyze it. If the ping doesn't work, doesn't use it. If the stack doesn't work, well, don't fucking use it. If your open freaks out girls and they run away, I don't know, screaming, well, don't use it. Look at what you're doing. Analyze your game. Analyze your sets. And now, the fourth thing, I don't want to talk about it because I've spoken about it so much, but go out enough. If you are not doing 25 sets a week, as minimum, there is no way you will ever get good at day game. You have to go out almost every day. If you skip more than one day of day game, you are losing skills if you're a beginner. And you are losing skills very, very fast. I recently had this student, he got really good results on day game, but he had to go on a business trip where he didn't day game that much. And when coaching, I told him, dude, the most important thing is keep going out all the time. That's the biggest mistake guys make after coaching. They stop going out. And immediately they use whatever they learned when I coached them for 1, 3, 5 days. They lose most of it. And he came back and he said in the chat, guys, this is really important. Robert told me I didn't listen. Keep going out after coaching. Don't stop because you will forget everything and approach anxiety will, well, you never really forget everything, but approach anxiety definitely is back and you'll lose the sharpness. So go out enough. You have to go out every day or every other day. Do not skip more than one day. And do a minimum of 25 sets every week. That's the bare minimum. And actually, to those of you who don't know, you all know that we have the Day Game Church public chat. Well, we have another chat where we have guys who do at least 25 sets every week. Well, it's not just like, if you are doing 25 sets a week and you did it for a few weeks in a row, you can send me a PM and we might add you to the chat. It's the only criteria isn't just doing 25 sets. It's like a very small chat for a few guys. So send me a PM and I might add you there, or we will see. So go out enough. And well, the fifth thing that I don't really think I should even mention, but well, unfortunately I do, use the right material. If you're using some stupid stuff that you learned on YouTube and you don't know many people that are good from it and that have really good results using it, well, stop using it. That's it. There are day game coaches that put out some decent material. And there are a lot of day game YouTube channels that seem really good, but unfortunately people aren't getting laid using that material. Maybe some people are, but the question is how many people who watch it are getting good results. And if it's a very small percentage, well, then don't use that material. Make sure you are using the right material. I'm a big fan of London Day Game model. That's what I use in my sets. That's what I use in when I coach my students. But that's a whole different topic, the material thing. I will make a podcast about horror stories that I've heard from my students that have been coached by different coaches all around the world. And I will record a podcast on why a lot of day game coaching that is going on in the world is really, really bad and it's fucking bullshit, and how I view day game coaching. But that's a whole different topic, because I've heard so many crazy stories. And what I want to not really conclude, but what it comes to is treat day game as if it was a business. If you are learning to sell, Well, you are analyzing. You found a good book on sales. You read that book and you are using the material. You are analyzing, okay, how could I have done it better in this case? How could I have done it better in this meeting? And well, if you don't do it, will you get good at sales just by showing up? Like, will there come a day where if you keep showing up, you will be really good? Well, maybe yes, but it will take a long time. You will have to do very many sales meetings that will fail. So one, long time. Second is, how much money will you leave on the table because you didn't learn how to sell, you didn't analyze, you didn't use the right material. And also, what your reputation will be. The sales leads are limited. Girls are, unless you live in a super huge city and you want to waste your time and life on it, well, there's a limited amount of girls in each city. There is a limited amount of time we have. So really think about it. If you just try to wing it and be a natural, well, how long will it take until you are good? Do your fucking job. You are probably already really good at something in your life. Maybe it's business. I coach a lot of guys who are good at what they're doing, their job. Maybe you are really good in sports. You had to build some habits to become good at it, and that's what some guys need. It's not the technical knowledge, it's the ability to build the right habits that will work for them, not for like everyone else. It's learning to stick to your habits and adjust as you go, and learning new things about how you should maybe do some micro changes in your habits to be able to stick to them, to be actually able to love your habits and to get happy like in life, not just in game, I don't know. And some guys really, really need this. So if you want to know what you can do about this, how you can learn how to build your habits that you will be able to stick to, and that you will kind of love to stick to, that will be easily part of your everyday life. If you want to learn how to do it, just send me a PM and I'll tell you what you can do and how I can help you with that. So, again, if you have any more questions about this topic, then ask them to me in our Telegram group chat, the Daygame Church, which you can get access to by going to my website, saintrobert.blog. The group chat is completely for free. Just go to the website, sign up for the mailing list, and in the welcome email you get a link to join our group chat. We have over 100 Daygamers from all over the world. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, just ask the questions in comments, but I'm more likely to respond to that question if you ask it in a group chat. Plus, there are many other guys who can give you advice there. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you for listening. I'm gonna go out, explore the city of Antwerp where I am right now, do some sets, and we'll try to get laid.